Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour, brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club. Enter as friends, leave as family. Serendipity Studio Gallery and Gifts, Chasers Food and Spirits, Excel Chiropractic, Quality Nails, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversations. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Hey there, everybody. This is the place to find out what's going on in the arts community in the Sioux Empire and what we locals favor calling the Sioux Falls metro area. Yeah, that's right, Sioux Empire. Don't have any kings or queens or anything. Spotlight Theater Company, formerly DAPA, presents Lion King Jr. this weekend. Director Coleman Peterson, choreographer Sarah Bell. They give us the details in just a few minutes. Later in the show, the Vaudies co-host, co-producer Emily Wilson talks about tonight's modern-day vaudeville variety show, Getting Lucky with the Vaudies. But first, let's pop the cork on this bubbly little show. Time to grab your favorite beverage, lift it high, and toast it to being Thursday, a.k.a. Weekend Eve.
Hey, the weekend isn't around the corner, it's here!
So long, hump day and your frumpy way. We say hello to Thursdays with opening nights. The weekend is near and we can see the bright lights. Yes, Thursday, you're so hearty, we can't wait for Friday, so a day early, we start the party. Whatever you're drinking and whatever you're drinking it out of might very well be determined by where and when you're listening. My choice, the usual, a Jasper Newton. That's Jack Daniels Diet Coke with a lime, double tall. You might be hydrating with some water, milk, coffee, or tea. If you're listening later in the day, could be a beer, a cocktail, a glass of wine, or flute of champagne. Doesn't matter. Lift it high and toast to friends using their smarts. Knowing when to pull off the road when you can't see anything in front of you, even though you're only going 10 miles per hour. The other day, one of the friends of the Dave Holly Hour, and a dear friend, Graham Wilson, was coming home from a trip and had to do just that at Worthington. Well done, Gramster. As I often say, I want to talk to you, not about you. Cheers to you and others using brains instead of false bravado. The Weekend Eve Toast is brought to you by Chasers, West 12th Street and Ellis Road. Chasers has great food and beverages, and on Monday nights at 7, we play Dave Holly Hour Trivia. This coming Monday, March 10th, our theme is going to be March Madness. Just don't focus too much on NCAA basketball, or you could end up double dribbling. See you Monday night at Chasers. Honorable mention. One over the past week made Dave laugh, guffaw, chuckle, chortle, giggle, simply smile, or maybe even shed a tear of joy. It was heartfelt smiles and tears of joy last Thursday night. As I stepped down from hosting Midtown Coffee Radio Hour, they brought me on stage as their guest interviewee and gave me a lot of love for being a part of that group since the beginning over 4 years ago. And they also surprised me with a beautiful microphone award. Now, as Bob Hope would have sang, thanks for the memory. Later in the show, we talk with Emily Wilson from the Vaudies. In just a few minutes, Coleman Peterson and Sarah Bell from Spotlight Theater on the Dave Holly Hour. Tomorrow's the first Friday of the month, which means it's time for Downtown Sioux Falls First Friday. And Serendipity Studio Gallery and Gifts opens a new exhibit at 5, Unveiled, The Faces of Womanhood. This show seeks to honor the diverse experiences of womanhood, seen and unseen, spoken and unspoken, through visual storytelling, emotion, and creative experience. Serendipity Studio in the historic Shriver Square building, downtown Sioux Falls.
Are you an artist? Need some funding to further your art? There's a great opportunity for you through a Sioux Falls Arts Council program. The Artist Microgrant program gives away several microgrants to local artists, no matter what art discipline you're in. Unlike more traditional grants, a micro grant is very easy to apply for. Go to artssiouxfalls.org. If you haven't done so yet, create a listing on the Artist Directory, which is beneficial in its own way. Then go to the Artist Microgrants page and apply online. The process is simple. Find out more about the Sioux Falls Arts Council as well online at artssiouxfalls.org.
Trio Jazz Club is an intimate music venue in the heart of Sioux Falls. It's family-owned and family-run. Ricardo and Mary Beth and the entire staff provide the art of hospitality, while the best local and regional musicians provide the smooth sounds. It's a great vibe with live music Tuesday through Saturday nights. The chefs and mixologists offer an amazing menu and beer and wine lists. Cocktails as smooth as the jazz. Join the club, Trio Jazz Club, across from the Washington Pavilion. Enter as friends, leave as family.
Support the Dave Holly Hour in a very easy way. Buy Dave a cup of coffee by clicking the cup at davehollyhour.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Oh, yeah. Let's just say it right at the front because we get it over with. It is always a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire arts and entertainment, and a group that we have been following ever since this show started, because I was actually involved in it many, many years ago as one of the directors. It used to be called DAPA, Dakota Academy of Performing Arts. Now it is Spotlight Theater, and we love putting a spotlight on them. And as you know, I like to talk about it. It's always a pleasure to have returning guests. Coleman Peterson, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Dave?
I am absolutely wonderful because I get to talk about kids in theater.
Let's talk about it.
Let's do that.
Indeed.
And Sarah Bell, your first time here in the Dipsy Doodle Productions
Yeah, this
studio.
is so exciting.
Yeah, and great to have you. We have you on because coming up, and we're recording this on Sunday, but this comes out on Thursday. So coming up tonight
Yes.
is the opening of Lion King Jr. Oh, my. People are very familiar with Lion King.
Yes.
What makes the junior presentation different than what we've seen, A, from the movie, B, from if we've seen Lion King the musical, the senior edition?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The junior edition of all of these really famous musicals are like really educationally written kind of revamps that cut it down to about an hour in length and make sure that all of the keys and the language is all like appropriate for young actors to be able to do on their own. I really like those junior shows because it keeps all of the pieces that people are still wanting to see when they go and see the show. And actually it trims it down to a really nice working length for working with youth actors and the crazy rehearsal process that we have to schedule out and really kind of cram to get everything learned in. So that's a little bit of how it's going to be different. I'm going to have all the same iconic songs and imagery and everything, but yeah, just a little bit more.
If you're a fan of the movie, you'll still love the show.
Yeah.
All the big movie
It's the
songs are
same.
in this.
Yeah.
All right. So, Coleman, you are directing it. And Sarah, you're doing the choreography for it. Yes. First time you two have worked together in this capacity?
No.
Not.
We've worked together many times before.
Yeah. But as director and choreographer then?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, wow.
We actually,
You're a team.
our fun fact is that we actually were DAPA students back in the day. Yeah, so
I
both
knew
former
that.
students would
Yeah.
be in shows together, and now we get to work together. We kind of reconnected doing like the summer camps and the classes at the pavilion, which was fun to be back because that's kind of how I found it.
Right.
And we'll get to do that again this summer too. So
For sure.
Oh, my.
we make a pretty good team.
Yeah, we do.
Busy schedules for you
Well, that's
people.
how we like it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I always tell people busy beats boredom.
It sure does.
Yeah, and no
life
doubt
interesting.
about it. All right, so from the choreography standpoint, what do you like to work with when it comes to the youngsters that are in Spotlight?
I mean, I just love the enthusiasm from our Spotlight kids. They are so willing and ready to learn new things and just take on all the challenges I'm willing to give them because I love to push them to do new things. And I really enjoy this. A lot of the directors in Spotlight give a lot of good guidance of what they want from a show. Like the show is a little bit different than your traditional Lion King. So I feel like I got to work into this lyrical style of dance a little bit more on this one. So it pushes me as a choreographer as well.
Right.
And the kids are just fantastic to work with, really.
And your own choreography experience, give us a little bit of background on that.
Yeah, I grew up doing dance at Britza Studios.
Okay.
From age, I think, 5 to 18. Then I've started doing choreography for some middle school show choirs when I was in high school. And I did choreography for Canton's musical program when I was in college. And then now here I am being a teacher and choreographer on the side. But yeah.
Well, it's wonderful. Okay, so tell us how it is then, since you have been working together for so long, that you make a good team. When it comes to the directing and bringing in the choreography, Coleman, how do you approach that?
Yeah, well, Spotlight, I feel like, has a really good system that was established by, the OG Spotlight teachers who I always imagine and think about when I'm reminiscing on my theater education. But basically, the director of a Spotlight show will kind of divvy up which things they want to be more blocked and which things they want to be more choreographed. And then if something is going to be choreographed, it's kind of up to the director about how much of a vision they have for that number. Sometimes it'll be one that you frankly just don't want to do or can't really see. And then you can just toss it to them because they're such awesome professionals and they have their own amazing visions too. And other times there's a more specific thing that you want to get out of that number. And Sarah is really great about reading my weird, like, what is my vision if I had to put it into words? And interpreting it through her own lens, which I feel like I can always recognize Sarah's choreography. She just kind of has a signature about the way that she does things. So I was really excited to have her put her own kind of stank on the ideas that we were generating for this. Yeah, like Sarah said, the new iteration of what The Lion King looks like for these young actors.
Okay. Rehearsals then. You start off just with, obviously you're going to have the read-throughs and so forth, but once you get onto the stage and start the blocking and so forth, do you set aside separate rehearsals for choreography, or how do you work that in?
I mean, typically, yeah, we have, especially when it's a big number with a lot of kids or a lot of moving parts, we will separate it into, okay, we're going to just dedicate these 2 hours to choreography, which I really enjoy having that much time when we have the time to do it, because it allows me to take time to make it exactly what I want it to be and kind of perfect the little pieces here and there. But we've done a couple where we do choreography for half of the rehearsal and then we switch over to blocking when those go together, when the dance leads right into a scene or whatever. But yeah.
All right. So when it comes to a regular theater production, a lot of the theater groups around here usually are kind of looking at about 6 weeks probably for rehearsals. What do you guys get?
We have around 2 months.
Okay.
We started like first week of January, and we cast 3 shows all at the same time. So we have all the kids come in and audition and just select which shows they're available for. And then one of the shows ends up having kind of an earlier performance date. So they get cracking right away as soon as they have their auditions and cast the show. So we've been working since like probably the first of the year is when we've been hitting the ground and rehearsing all through that.
All right. So what ages are you working with, and how many kids are in this cast?
What's the youngest?
I think our youngest is 9.
Wow.
And our oldest is 18.
Okay.
And how many kids you said?
Yeah, how many?
We have around 60 students in the cast.
60 students in this. That's got to be a challenge, doesn't it?
A little bit, but I feel like that's kind of what draws all of the staff members to want to do these shows. Is to get to have all those kids. I mean, a lot of the people on staff are teachers, Sarah and me included. So that's just kind of where we thrive and the space that we make for ourselves every day. So it is a comfort a little bit to get to see all of that, the youthful energy and the excitement that they have for the craft of theater. But yes, on the other hand, it is overwhelming at times.
It can be.
Yeah, we have our teacher strategies and we kind of know how to...
I mean, from a choreography standpoint, I love having a lot more bodies on stage because I can do a lot more fun pictures with them and create more different moves and things. So, yeah.
Are all 60 in one particular number?
There are a couple numbers where all 60 are on the stage, and we have gotten really good at figuring out how to fit 60 students on a stage in different formations.
From the directors before us, thank you for all of the ideas. The way that we're kind of staging the show, I feel, is like allows us to, I don't know, get a little bit more creative with how we're doing that. So
And where is this playing starting tonight?
Yeah, this will be at the Orpheum Theater.
At the Orpheum, okay. And how many nights and give us the times, etc.
Yeah, we
that we
are
have going on.
Thursday night at 7 p.m., Friday night at 7 p.m., and then Saturday we have 2 shows, one at 2 and one at 7, and then Sunday another matinee at 2.
Matinee. Ooh, boy. Those 60 kids are getting their workout, as are you.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But
that's why
those
we
are the
do
fun
it.
days.
Yeah.
That's what they love. I mean, show days are the best days.
Yeah.
Now, with Spotlight, do they also have to do the strike of the set?
They
Just
do. It's really,
yeah.
I mean, many hands make light work.
Oh, no
and
doubt about that.
Okay, let me just dive into what our show is kind of going to look like, because I was going to say, I think it's going to be pretty simple.
It is going to be, yeah.
for strike, at least. Not the show. I think that made it more complex than we needed it to.
Yeah.
But we wanted to kind of take The Lion King in a different direction. It's just dominated culture.
Right.
Since its very beginning, and you either know every single frame of the movie and you can visualize it all in your head, or you've seen the Broadway musical and you've seen all the African influence or the Disney influence and stuff. So I think Lion King is a very popular show, and I've already worked on it 2 previous times, and so I was a little like, what do I want to do? Because I think it's important to model thinking outside the box to Spotlight students. I feel like that's something that my Spotlight directors showed me how to do. And I really value that and kind of want to challenge them to rise to that occasion. So we're staging the show like it's inside of a sandstorm. And there's this sandstorm going on, and the spirit of the sandstorm inside is telling this kind of really natural, of the earth legend that, of course, involves the animal characters and the circle of life and everything, but no fur and no leopard print and no ears and no African, textiles or anything.
Right.
We wanted to do something fresh, and I guess the main word I've been thinking about has been beige, but also like the movement and the swirls of the sand. So our production is going to look a little bit different just for everyone who has tickets or is excited to see it. But I hope that is an exciting kind of diversion instead of a letdown.
Yeah. All right. So it's always fun to see, a production, no matter what, even if everybody goes same book, verbatim. A production's always going to look different no matter where you go.
Right.
And
we're leaning into that. We want it. Yeah.
And so this time it's going to be fun in that regard, but also just fun, 60 youngsters out there. This group, now Spotlight, formerly DAPA, has always been such a great thread. And I'll give you an example of it because, we go to these fairly often. We can't hit every one of them, but obviously I've got some pride because of having been associated with it. But a lot of people say, well, how come you guys go to these shows? You don't have any children or grandchildren in them or anything. It's like, well, did you like the last TPP show that you went to? Oh, gosh, you know what? There were some people that were in DAPA or in a very short time, or to be saying, some people in that show were in Spotlight.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're putting a spotlight on it. I love that you chose that name. So that
we've
can
really gotten better at saying
I've
it.
gotten much better at it, yeah.
It
The first
takes
few
a
days
little
were hard,
bit,
but
yeah. But it's like, we're putting a spotlight on these kids so that they can feel that energy and that it continues. It's not just, I did a musical once when I was 12. Right. Now it's going to be, I did musicals when I was 9 through 18, and now I'm going to do them from 19 through 99.
Right.
And just that theater that we're building, it's been such a great thing for me being from the area originally to see how arts and entertainment in this community has grown. I mean, exponentially, actually. All the different places you can go to see theater and arts and entertainment in such a variety of ways. The different companies that keep being added to the list as well. And everybody likes seeing people move up and up and up and expand everything too. So we're not always doing, and I don't mean this as a diss as anybody that's done it recently or anything, but it's not always got to be Oklahoma. Yeah, it doesn't always have to be My Fair Lady. And just, I love that, youth-wise, they get something familiar, but I just can't imagine these 60 kids not getting great ideas from what you two are doing and what Spotlight does overall, and just, how it's going to keep going on. So you guys have quite the future ahead of you if you continue doing this as directors and choreographers, don't you? Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any plans to stop choreographing for Spotlight anytime soon. I love my coworkers. I love the kids that we get to work with. And honestly, when you mentioned like kids growing into new opportunities, I feel like Spotlight does a great job of preparing these kids to be professionals in theater. And we talk about, okay, how can I be prepared and have my next steps, and what do I need to know my path? How do I get from A to B? And I feel like they really are getting a really quality education in theater.
Yeah, I remember the first time I ever spoke with Sarah Crosby. I was working at Kello AM, and she was new to town. She just started this. And she told me, Dave, she says, the kids that are here are just as talented as any child in Los Angeles, Chicago, or New York. They just don't have the opportunity. And she brought that opportunity, and you guys just keep adding on to it. Now, Sarah, early on, you had mentioned, the fact that expanding, your work as a choreographer. What about your work as a director then, Coleman? Yeah, do you feel that each new show is like, okay, what did I learn from the others that I've already directed that I can apply now?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like that's maybe part of the thrill of it, and the challenge is how can you do it better? How can you make it more of a spectacle the next time that you do it? And definitely, like you said, what lessons did you learn in the past that you want to make sure that you don't have to go through again in the next production? Usually it comes down to planning or something boring like that, but definitely. And I feel like each new show kind of unlocks like a new ability within your director toolkit, and you can push into different styles and different ways to heighten different moments. Using, the medium of theater. Are you going to do it in the movement or the color or the props or,
beige?
Yes. You'll understand what we're saying when you see it. But it kind of becomes a playground, and the more you have under your belt, the more things there are to play with. So
who do you consider the mentor for you?
Well, my first Spotlight director was Molly Wilson, and I feel like I just try and emulate that same feeling that she gave me when I was a student of hers to the students who are there now. She really made it special to feel like a theater kid, and she approached everything so educationally and gently and positively. So I really, just loved the aura that she created in all of those spaces that we got to go and learn how to be theater artists with her. So she's my number one for sure.
Okay. Sarah, how about you in terms of the dance?
Theater-wise, yes, Molly was my first director, but for dance-wise, I kind of lean back to my Britza days when I was learning dance. So like Amanda Hahn and Jill Kunstel from Britza, they're fantastic mentors, and they taught me wonderful technique that allows me to create my own choreography. But like even my show choir days in high school, I had Kevin Chase as a choreographer and Ben Eklund. And so they kind of influence, I think, my style and the way that I create as well.
Yeah, and boy, talk about another thing that has grown exponentially. The dance community. Wow. If you're going to a dance recital, make sure that you are hydrated, because might be a few hours before you get out.
Yeah.
But wonderful to have you here. And again, the Lion King at 7 o'clock tonight. 7 o'clock Friday night. 2 and 7 on Saturday, and a 2 o'clock matinee on Sunday at the Orpheum. And of course, you can go online, you can get your tickets. And if you look up on Facebook, go to Spotlight Theater. The link is right there. I just saw it earlier today when I was going through things. And you know what? It is money well spent, not just in your enjoyment of entertainment, but money well spent providing the opportunity for all these students
absolutely.
to be involved beyond just what they might be doing in schools. And like you said, you're building them to be professionals. It's just such a great thing. All right, so Coleman has been a guest before. I have a different question for him, but as a first time guest, Sarah, you get the traditional 2 questions.
Oh boy.
How you answer question number 1 will determine whether I need to bring in question number 2.
Okay.
So first off, when you are not part of the arts and entertainment community, what do you like to be entertained by?
Ooh. I think I lean towards music. That is just a constant in my life. I wake up and I turn music on my speakers, and when I'm getting ready for the day, I'm listening to music in my classroom. Everywhere I go, I don't think there's many moments in my life without music, so I would lean that way.
All right. So then you do get the second question.
Okay.
What do you have for hobbies?
Ooh, hobbies. I mean, I really like to just dance for enjoyment as well, not just choreography. But I also really like to crochet. So I have made myself and my family multiple blankets, and they're wonderful, soft. I nap under them often. Let's see. I also really like to read. I just got myself a Kindle, and so now I have an excuse to read a lot more.
Yeah, do you have a favorite author?
Oh gosh. No, not right now.
Okay. So just, or a genre that you
I really like futuristic and like dystopian type novels. So
yeah, okay, excellent.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure getting to know you.
Thank you.
And of course, I've known Coleman for a while now, and just always thrilled with everything that you do. It's just I wish that I did video for my podcast so people could see your smile too. So just trust me on this one. He got a good one. All right. So since you have been here before, that means you get one of the other fun questions. Is there a word that you live by? A word that is your mantra?
Oh, well, I feel like yes. The one I try and model. Well, I'm around kids a large portion of my day, so I'm always trying to like model what I really value in the human experience. And the word that I always push to kids, 3rd grade is the age that I teach, and there's a lot of spotlight students who are also around that similar age, so I feel like I try and model this often. But creative or creativity or all of the words that involve creation really excite me, because I feel like kids don't often get an opportunity as much, maybe, I don't know, as much as I did growing up. I feel like it was maybe a little bit more celebrated to go out and play or, make believe. So I am really trying to push that lately and just model what a creative life looks like and why there's excitement in it and what it can kind of unlock inside of you. So yeah, that's the word that first came to mind. It's not as classy.
Well, and just a couple of points on that, then we also need to teach the parents to be receptive to that.
Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed by your child. Let them be a child. Okay. If you think they're acting up, everybody else is going, oh man, look at the energy, or they're thinking of something positive. And then also the fact that, we used to label, okay, so like you're a director, you're a choreographer and so forth, and I'm a podcast host. But you know what we all are?
No, you're a legend, Dave.
Thank you, my friend. What we all are is creators. We're creating something, and I love that. My word, by the way, is compliment. I like to tell people great things about themselves. People say, I've got this standard answer or question or answer, I guess it is, when I come up and meet people and greet people. And they'll say, hey, how you doing, Dave? And I'll always say, better anytime I see you. And that is one of my favorite things to say. And they say, yeah, but you just said that to so-and-so. Yeah, and I was better anytime that I said that to so-and-so, too. I'm better anytime I see people. And I always say, if that can make them smile or have a good feeling, even for just a short span of time during the day, it was worth it. Yeah, so you two are wonderful. You make a great team.
You too.
And thank you for being excellent guests
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Putting the spotlight on Spotlight.
Yes.
Yeah. Come and
Coleman
see the show.
Peterson. Oh, yeah. And Sarah Bell. Thank you so much. We'll be back with more of the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment. Here's what's on the set list at Trio Jazz Club this weekend and into next week. Tonight, the unofficial director of cannoli sales, Dan Heyer, is back. The dynamic Dan Heyer Quartet has a 6:30 show. Welcome back the Olsen Brothers Friday night for 2 shows, 6:30 and 9. The North Main Blues Review is a trio. They have shows Saturday night at 6:30 and 9. Then next Tuesday, March 11th, enjoy 2 spectacular shows, 6:30 and 9, the usual times, with the Tobias Meinhardt Quartet. For more information, go online, triojazzclub.com. A great write-up about Tobias, as well as ticket information, is on the site.
Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails on South Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony don't simply provide the service, they provide professional care for your hands and feet. Whether you just want the basics or you're looking for an extra special look with an added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails on Minnesota. Call for an appointment, 605-334-1463.
The Dave Holly Hour, like eavesdropping on a great conversation between 2 very interesting people.
Welcome back, everyone. It is always a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment. You hear me say so often, it's always a pleasure to have so-and-so in the studio. And, well, I think she's getting toward the top of the rank now because she's Emily Wilson. She's not only an amazing actor, but she also happens to be the co-host and co-producer, along with me, of the Vaudies. And we have a show this Thursday night. Yes. And it'll be at 7:30 at the Icon. And I was figuring it out the other day. This will be our 8th show together.
Is it?
Yeah.
Look at us.
How about that?
How about
And they
that?
said it wouldn't last.
Well, I'm not a quitter, and I wasn't going to give up on this. So
Me neither.
I know it.
Yep. There's no way. Especially because, we'll see the tough times. And we have seen some tough times, but we've also seen this thing grow beyond what it ever was prior.
Yes.
So that's a very, very good thing to have. And we keep getting new people involved, and our alumni list gets even longer and longer.
And they want to come back.
Yeah.
Just as
I
exciting.
know.
I love that they are like, I want to do that again.
Yeah. In fact, speaking of alumni, Jesse Moffat is going to be in this show. And boy, he may be about his 5th or 6th one.
Yeah,
He's one of
almost
the
as many as
original-
me.
Yeah, he's one of the original Vaudies members. So that's going to be fun to see him. And he's just such a great guy and a fun person anyway. But he brings a lot of fun to his magic.
He does.
Yeah, and so looking forward to that. Tickets, by the way, yes, $20 at the door now. That's what you got to pay. But that's still, considering the lineup we have,
A steal of a deal.
is amazing. Well, first of all, you're getting us.
Yeah, well,
along with Michael Sorensen, our music director. So we are the 3 Vaudies. And then, I'll have the programs ready by showtime.
Okay.
Yeah. And my love decided she needed a new title.
Ooh.
Yes. Instead of executive administrator, she's the executive momastrator.
Oh my gosh, that's I love it.
Yep. Because, just in case somebody forgets a shirt at their house
Yeah.
and says, Carrie, can you go get this? Or, Carrie, do we have any safety pins? Do we have Scotch tape? Do we have any paper? She takes care of that all.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah,
She does.
and her designation of the title on herself.
I think it's perfect.
Yes, it is. I know when she said it, I thought, and I even knew the next thing coming out of her mouth. And I want the mom part to be capitalized. So I was like, okay,
Yes.
we got that done.
She has definitely saved my butt, as a good mom does.
Oh, and she saved mine before, too. But the one thing is, at least, this year, all of our shows are going to be in the Icon, like we had our final show of 2024. And that little annex area that if you've been to Improv Falls, which you should have been because she's in it and she's wonderful, and everybody else in it is also fantastic. So that's the place. And we can get close to 100 in there.
Close.
Yeah, but comfortably, around 75.
Yeah.
And we'll consider that, a sellout. So help us do that. We'd really like it because $20 for
some
3 of us.
Plus, not limited to,
the
amazing vocals of Betty Kay, an alumni.
Yes.
And she was recently in Oklahoma for the premieres.
Right. Yeah.
She was Lori.
She has started her own vocal coaching as well.
Ooh.
So she's got a voice studio now.
She's just sweet as pie, too.
Oh, she is. Yeah. Remarkable young lady. And then comic Adam Googe. And this is going to be so fun because he's also a great artist.
Yeah.
And he is now incorporating art in his comedy.
I'm very excited to see this.
It'll blow you away. He does a lot of fun things. And so that's going to be cool. Now what we'll need to do, because he and another comic that is an alumni of ours now, Sarah Manson, happen to be a couple.
Yes.
And they recently did a Valentine's show, and they did a couple's Valentine
that's right.
bit in there and so forth. So I think that might have to be something to keep in mind for us down the line.
So,
Jesse Moffat, as we mentioned, been on the show plenty of times.
God, he's always entertaining.
Yes, he is.
And you're like, I've seen it, but I still don't.
I know.
How do you do this?
Well, there's one of his routines. I think the first time that he appeared for the two of us together, it's like, okay, I've seen this set dozens of times.
Yes.
Because we're good friends. And I've even helped him at some of his shows, and he's been in some of mine, things along that line. It's like, so I know all this, but it's like every time it's going to be just a little bit different.
Yes.
He's almost an improver of comedy and magic because most magicians, they've got their set and they memorize their pattern as to everything. If something goes astray for Jesse, that's not a problem. That's just another opportunity for him.
To crack a joke. And he's good.
Oh, yeah. And then Etta and the Vendetta. Now, Etta has performed for us before, actually a couple of times. Once on the schedule for our holiday show, not 2024, but 2023. And then she also was in the Leap Day show when Clinton Storr brought 4 other people up on stage. And boy, that's something that's gone crazy too. Creating in color. Amazing.
So amazing.
Yeah. And
creating in color, you'll have to be on sometime.
Yes, you will. But in the meantime, Etta had started the Vendetta. And so she's got another handful of people along with her to form a band. They're going to close the show out. Because that, leave them. Well, we're going to start off with Betty.
Yes.
And, she'll wow them.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you'll get a bigger wow.
You're going to rock out with
you will.
Vendetta. I caught them a couple weeks ago, finally, at the Den. And it was so good. And they were so much fun. Actually, they had one impromptu rehearsal in my garage last summer. They just needed a space. Yes, they were actually for Sarah Manson's mom's surprise birthday party.
Okay.
They just needed a place to practice. So I was like, just come to my garage. That's fine. And it was so much fun. In my neighborhood, walking by, seeing what's going on, I'm like, we need more garage bands.
We do, don't we?
Right? I'm like, this is just, was nice to bring some joy and entertainment to me, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just sat in my driveway and listened and had a good time.
Exactly.
But it was just, them practicing and working out pieces wasn't.
Did you have a beer when you were sitting there?
Maybe. But
okay.
anyway. But it was fun. But to see them at the Den, full performance, full band, keys, percussion, bass, all the works.
Yeah.
And Etta just being Etta and being amazing. It was so much fun.
Etta is very recognizable
Yes.
for one physical feature.
Her heart.
Exactly.
Her big, beautiful heart.
It is.
Yes.
So that's what I tell people. I'll say, okay, she has a very large head of hair.
Yeah. It's great.
But the best part is her heart is just as big. And she is this amazing soul.
Yes. She is.
And boy, she has a unique voice too.
Mm-hmm.
And she can bring it all out. I don't know of a song I've heard her sing ever where she didn't give it her all.
No.
Yeah, and it's excellent to see.
Mm-hmm.
And so looking forward to that. And of course, we're even going to have some Irish dancing. And we have giveaways as per usual.
Yes.
But somebody's going to have to earn the big prize, though.
Yeah.
We are having a limerick contest.
I love limericks.
Yeah.
Now this is...
Well, we have a special tie to limericks.
Well, yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Through Brian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our dear departed friend. But we still think of him often. And if you've ever been in any performance at Corson and down in the green room, dressing room, because it's all kind of just one over there are volumes of books of limericks.
And pre-show warm-up,
Yep.
you would open the book and find a limerick and read it out.
Yeah.
And you would either be completely disgusted or you would laugh. One of the two.
Or sometimes both.
Or both.
Yeah,
Yes.
going, you're laughing at person. Boy, you think about that one. That's really bad, isn't it?
Really, really bad. But, it was such a fun tradition. And it's one that is still going on, even though we don't have Brian here with us anymore. But we're always going to make sure that is a tradition that we carry on. So, Corson friends, get your limerick on.
Yes.
Here you go. Come on out.
Yeah.
I want to hear them.
Ryan Howe.
Brian Howe. Yes. Macy.
Et al. Yes.
Yes. All of you.
Definitely. Oh,
So-
bring it. Bring it. Bring it. And looking
Yes.
forward to that. But see, it's going to be based off of applause from the audience.
Okay.
As to who continues on. So you better have, a few of them in your pocket then.
Yeah.
So that we can determine who the winner is. And then the winner gets to hear my favorite.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I can't win the big prize, though.
What, that would be cheating.
Yes, I would, but I'd really like to win the big prize. Yeah.
Well, I can't win the big prize either, but
No,
it's
and,
okay.
Well, the show is called Getting Lucky with the Vaudies.
Uh-oh.
And an enchanting evening of entertainment as you built it. I love that. And this guy in purple and orange, and then green hat on. Nice Photoshop job.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome. So wear your green, too.
Wear your green.
Because this is really kind of a look forward to St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Which is on a Monday this year. And, a lot of people don't go out on Mondays, but they should to Chasers for trivia.
Oh, you're going to have St. Patrick's Day trivia?
We will.
Fun.
Yeah, that we will. Going to be fun. No doubt about that. I don't know if I'll drink any green beer because I don't drink beer. If they want to put some dye in the Jack Daniels, that's fine. Speaking of which.
Well, maybe.
There we go.
I don't know. We'll see if we can leave the house or if my children are going to decide to do more things.
I think you should bring the children along.
Oh, that's right. I can bring them into this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's very family friendly because it is a restaurant after all.
True.
And so good burgers. Oh my.
They do.
Oh.
They do have good burgers.
Yeah, very much so. So lots of fun stuff ahead of us all. But again, tonight it's the Vaudies at the Icon. 7:30 is showtime. Doors will open at 6:45. And sorry, after today, you missed out on the advance tickets. So $20 at the door tonight. But that's okay. It's still, considering, you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 13 people that'll be involved in the show. And so consider that $1 something
Sure.
per person.
Yeah, math. Ooh.
Yeah. So it's less than $2 per person. We'll go that route. Oh, you're going to calculate
we can do this
on the phone?
Well, yeah.
That's what they're here for.
That's what they're here for. Yeah, when they're all like, "Oh, you'll never have a calculator in your pocket all the time." It's $1.53.54 per person.
Yes. There we go.
Pre-tax. No, there's no tax.
That is a fantastic deal when you think about it. And I'm sure that the Icon will treat you well, too. If you want to go first and go over to Dada Gastropub and have a fine meal,
Yes.
they'll let you do that.
And make you a lovely beverage.
Yeah, that they will. Boy, they mix well. In the top 5 in town. Yeah, I'd put it that way.
Okay.
Not that, I go to... Well, yeah, I do. But as always, looking forward to performing with you.
Yes, likewise.
And Michael, and then, of course, everybody on the docket for tonight. Great people, great fun.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, if you missed it the other day, on Tuesday, you and I were on Dakota News Now.
Yes.
And had a great time with Bailey Peterson, as per always. And then we also found out we may have somebody in our June show because she offered up her partner. Well, Lexi plays violin.
Lexi was like,
what? They used a good part of a highlight video that we had shot by Bada Boom Studios.
Yes. Turned out so
Eddie
good.
Unruh and his brother Jack did that, and it's fantastic. And if you're saying, oh man, I wish you could see that, go to thevaudies.com and you will find a picture of it, and it'll play right up there on your screen. So well done. And very proud of it. I mean, yes, it's there's some Christmas stuff in it because it was done during our holiday show, but we're still going to use it as a promotional thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just fantastic. So there is plenty of time for you yet today to make this decision and come on up to the Icon today.
Come on down.
We'd love to have you there.
Yes.
In the meantime, let's see. I just finished being in Love Letters.
Which were fabulous in.
Yeah, which was also down at the... Let's see, how many... I got to think this all... I have performed, well, if you count last week as a performance, but I have been on stage at the Icon. This will be the 4th time already this year.
Very nice.
Because I hosted the funniest comic in Sioux Falls.
That's right.
Back in January. And then I was in Love Letters.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week I was honored by Midtown Coffee Radio.
It was very nice.
Yeah, that was very touching. And because I'm leaving that because of some issues that I have with my eyesight for the most part, and reading and then tripping over things because of bad eyes.
You don't need to
as well as balance. So we decided to go a different direction on that, but that doesn't mean I still won't be involved, because I've got these great people that I really love a lot that I like to perform on and host shows.
Yes.
You and Michael, and then all the people that we involve every time. And let's see. Oh, another Vaudies alumni is going to be one of the volunteers tonight.
Oh,
yes.
Who's volunteering?
Well, she's redheaded, and she recently won a karaoke contest.
Yes, Ms. Val.
Oh, Valerie Aarons. We love her. And trust me, she will be back on another one of our shows real fast.
Yes, she will.
Yeah, because she's an amazing person as well as an amazing vocalist. So we've got that. But let's see. I do believe someone's getting back into... Well, first of all, Improv Falls performs once a month.
We have
at the Icon.
Yeah, we have a show March, the week after this, that Friday. Because again, I can't remember anything. I am going to cheat and look.
That's fine.
Okay, our show is March 14th at 8 p.m.
Normally that's a little earlier, isn't it?
It's a little earlier than normal, but we take what we get. So
exactly,
and it'll be a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of fun. Irishie influencing sort of things
Yeah.
as well. Just a good time to celebrate and get out and have some fun and some good laughs. And
Yeah. And to quickly recap, you were in Live and Local at the Pavilion.
we were.
And, I'm an old improver. So when somebody says, yeah, we're thinking of doing the whole thing as long form. Mm-hmm. And I kind of go, oh, okay, good luck. But you came up with a really cool
Yeah.
answer to that. You called it kind of medium form.
Medium form. Yeah. So we had been talking about doing this long form because we did last time on Live and Local, we did kind of our usual gaming format. And they were like, do something different. What can you do that's different? And so we'd been toying around with the idea of long form because we've been kind of playing it here
Right.
and there and working with it. But since it's one of those things, it's truly an art form and a thing
Yes,
you
it
need
is.
to work and study. That we decided on this medium form. So it gave us the opportunity to do a little bit more long form play, but still in a short form format. And we decided to pull like a game of different movie types
Right.
and perform people's little stories, but then we made a big elaborate movie, I guess, in a sense, with different genres. And then we gave ourselves the challenge of hitting what you would call like the rom-com tropes throughout these different stories. So we had all these different kind of things to challenge ourselves with hitting these rom-com tropes and doing a movie in a certain style or performing a scene in a certain style and hitting these different points. So it was really fun.
That it was. Really, really enjoyed it. So if you do that sort of thing again, you going to continue that where you had that bingo board basically of marking things
I think
off?
we'll need to do it through certain things.
Yeah.
I thought it was really fun. And
Oh, it was
gave
genius.
us just a point to work through. And, I mean, I think even with the long form, how I've done it in the past is you figure out your formatting. And so if you're doing depending on your formatting, there's points that you need to hit. And so because we were performing around Valentine's Day, we had these Valentine's Day rom-com tropes that we wanted to hit. And we wanted audience participation because that's what's so fun about improv is also, so we wanted them to give us their ideas so we could do this play with them, and put their ideas in as well besides the people who were volunteering their stories.
Damn, I wish I had that on video.
Oh, my hand gestures? You think.
You were drawing things even.
Woo! This is my pretend, one of those things when you're solving a crime, my red string board.
Oh, yeah.
My visible and string.
I always love seeing those. It's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. That kind of ties to that. But what's it going to come to? Yeah.
But
it always does.
It does.
Yes. And for you guys, it came to a really cool ending.
Yes.
Yes. As you had on stage a love couple and it became a proposal.
Yes.
Very, very cool. Liked that. All right, so you've got Improv Falls basically once a month, except you take a couple months off in the summer.
We will this summer.
All right.
Yep.
Now, you're going to be back on stage.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A combo between Good Night
And
Monstrous.
Yes.
Oh.
My second kind of combo duo
Right.
thing with them.
Yeah, The Room Next Door,
Yeah.
also known as
The vibrator.
The Vibrator Play. And some of you might go, chuckling about that. But what an incredible story this is. I've seen one of the movie versions, and it's amazing. I'm not going to give it away. And then you and I were even talking about it earlier today about, the things that these women went through and so forth. And it's just the plot and the storyline, phenomenal. And I've already seen who's going to be starring along with you. And
It's going to be all right.
pretty good
It's
cast
gonna be
there.
pretty good, yeah.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
And so that'll be fun. When's that coming up then?
That is May 8th, 9th, 10th, I believe.
Okay.
So I have to look again.
Oh, my.
Yes, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the week leading up to that, you're dog sitting.
I am.
And he must have known we were talking about it because we just heard from
He
Charlie.
just came over to say hello.
All right, but that'll be phenomenal. Looking forward to it very, very much. Monstrous always likes to touch on edgy things.
Yes, they like to do a little bit of education with their theater, and that's one of the things I love about theater is being able to do these stories. I like doing the silly fun, I like doing the silly fun ones too, but I do like a good piece that has some things that we need to discuss a little bit. And I appreciate Monstrous and their mission and bringing that work here. It's awesome.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you on stage again.
Yeah.
Because you are a great actor. Thank you. And thanks for being my partner in this adventure we call the Vaudies.
The Vaudies. It's my pleasure, Dave.
Thank you. And, you've been here many, many times. Man, do I have that many questions available at the end?
I don't know.
Because you've answered the great majority of them.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Favorite band?
Oh, man. There's these questions. I just always like, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite? And I don't know.
To narrow them down.
Because I'd have to be like, well, I have to think of like the genre or like this type. Favorite band. Let's see. Who have I been listening to a lot lately? I don't.
What's trending?
Okay. So maybe.
Playlist.
Maybe
I'll just ask that from now on.
Okay, so
when I do the favorite band question, I'll say, what's trending in your playlist?
What's trending? I would say maybe, I'm always a Lady Gaga fan, but she's not technically a band.
Right.
And I like more solo artists I think I could give you. But if I'm going to be band-wise and say this is someone I'm into, I'm gonna ride on my husband's glory of being a Metallica fan.
Okay.
Because I've been to 3 Metallica concerts now, thanks to him.
In fact, didn't the boys go along?
The boys, yeah. So the first one was just me and Chris because they were quite little. But this past summer, Metallica did their world tour, and they had a 2-night show in Minneapolis, and we brought the kids along. And
very cool.
Oh my gosh, I think my little guy he cried after. Because he was so sad that it was over. He had the best time.
Oh, wow.
He loved it. And he found a couple bands from that he's really, really into from here on out. And not really my style of music, but hey.
Right.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah. But in the meantime, so as a performer, an artist, Lady Gaga.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
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 I remember when she first started, I thought, what the hell?
Yeah.
And now I have a great appreciation and admiration for her. Just, she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Singer and musician.
Yeah.
We sit there and think of songs that she has, but also watch that woman play piano.
Right? And actor.
Yeah.
All the things.
All of it. She's got it. People always kind of scoff at me when I'm like, oh,
Lady Gaga. I went to her concert. Chris and I went. It was awesome. I might have cried at that one. But I
cried at Styx when I saw him for the first time because it made me feel like I was 16 again.
Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome. Hi, Charlie. So one of the things I find so remarkable about her as a performer. So when she did the tribute to Julie Andrews.
Oh, yeah.
And she sang The Hills Are Alive and she did the Sound of Music kind of. Before that performance, the one-time performance, she studied classical vocal singing for a year before she did this tribute. And I think for someone who already was a very talented singer to say, I am not good enough to do this yet. And took professional classical training lessons to sing this tribute to Julie Andrews, I think is incredible dedication to her artistry and also saying, I have room to grow. And I think that is amazing and something that I always want to be able to do as an actor, performer, whomever, whatever. How can I grow? Where can I grow? And I love her for that. And I think, she's done so many things. I have her Tony Bennett collaboration albums.
I do too.
They're so good.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
So
because
good.
I love Tony Bennett, and then
Yes.
two of them. Because at first, when I heard it, I thought, "Well, that's going to be interesting." And then when I heard it, I go, "Boy, that's interesting."
Oh my gosh. And
That's incredible.
I loved kind of the different arrangements that they did to things. They just changed it up just a little.
Yeah.
And I think the story of her and that relationship she built with Tony Bennett and the music and his
Yes.
Alzheimer's and then the stories in 60 Minutes. Hi, I have a problem here. It's so beautiful, their love and their relationship and how they found each other and just that bond that they had and what music did for Tony, and especially at the end. It's quite a story. And I find that remarkable about her too. That she just really honored that and Tony and his family through music as well.
Okay, so I mentioned Styx. That would be my favorite band.
Okay.
And then, of all time, especially growing up. But of the past 20 years, Zach Dresch will kill me if I say it. Oh, God. Dave Matthews Band.
Don't tell Zach, but I think we should throw a surprise birthday party for him. That's Dave Matthews Band themed.
Yes. I love it.
You know how much grief he gives me for being a Dave Matthews fan?
Oh, my goodness. That's awesome. Yeah. And plus, that would be a surprise because he already throws his own birthday party every year. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll do it. We're on the hook for that.
Nobody
November
tells
17th. All right. Emily, always a pleasure. Can't wait to be on stage with you tonight and have some fun as we're getting lucky with the Vaudies. Yes. Prizes, fun stuff.
Limericks.
Limericks.
Dancing.
Yeah. All right. And, well, all we have to do now is wrap up this show, and we'll be back to do that in just a moment.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XL Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or xlchiros.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XL Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
Once again, Dave Holly.
Thanks again to my great guests, Coleman Peterson and Sarah Bell from Spotlight Theater, and Emily Wilson from the Vaudies. But most of all, thank you for the downloads, the follows, the sharing on social media. It is all a great thing to know about, and I certainly appreciate it. All 268 episodes are available online at davehollyhour.com. Don't forget to use the search function for previous guests and topics. You'll also find links to Arts South Dakota and the Sioux Falls Arts Council on there. Until next week, I'll see you at the Arts. Tonight, co-hosting the Vaudies. Friday night, my love and I will be at the Den for Dual Purpose and their dueling piano show. And then Saturday or Sunday might end up at Spotlight Theater Company's production of Lion King Jr. So find your art and support it. As the Sioux Falls Arts Council says, together we art. As Arts South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, put some art in your heart. Remember, my name is Dave Holly, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club, Serendipity Studio Gallery and Gifts, Chasers Food and Spirits, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. Stay up to date on the show by following on Instagram and Facebook. All episodes available anytime at davehollyhour.com. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.